you? What are you doing in my house? Get back here.
Hey, you. You're finally awake.
Hey guys, it's Hopeless Dave here again, and this video I'm going to be going over the different biomes that we've got, and I'm going to just do a little bit of talking about each one, sort of fit in a little bit of information on them, and then I'm going to be doing a sort of little demo reel at the end where all the textures I've been working on, I've just got them all stacked up just as blocks, and just going to show off what I've been working on. So hopefully this is interesting, it gives you a bit of an insight into the different biomes we've got. And yeah, let's get to the video. Okay, so this one here is literally I've just built a house using cubes. I haven't built it in the game engine, I built it all in Blender because I'm not that good with Unity at the moment. But I basically built it as a model and just imported it so you can see it under the game engine and how it's going to look. And this gives you a rough idea of what we're going to be able to build with the basically with the blocks and the different textures. It's a very bog standard house, but that's what you can expect. One of the things you'll also notice looking at the house is that the bottom and the top actually have like a wooden border, and that's one of the things that we're looking to currently do is create a system where it will automatically update. And say if you build a window frame, say if you just leave a gap in your building to put in a window, it will create like procedurally a wooden border, or it could be a different texture if that's what you want, around that gap, and that will grow if you made the gap bigger or shrink if you made the gap smaller, and it just allows you to have a bit more creative freedom. We don't have that in yet, but that's definitely something we're looking at implementing, so that should be quite interesting when we get that up and running. Okay, next one is the grassland. There's quite a lot of things here. There's a lot more trees and a lot closer proximity than you'd expect in the final version. What we basically got here is I just wanted to make sure I could show everything off. But what we're going to have is, it's going to be very similar I suppose to the grasslands you'd get in something like Minecraft, where there's quite a lot of open space with a few trees and just lots of short grass. So it's going to be quite almost like plains, large, expansive open areas, probably quite flat, so maybe a good spot to build on. Okay, next up we've got the desert biome, and it's pretty self-explanatory here. It's just going to be sort of large, open, sandy expanses with probably a few dunes. You'll probably come across a few oases here and there, and then just palm trees, lots of cactus, rocks, and I've got some little skeletons that you can dot around the place that will just be scattered about of the people that tried to get through and didn't quite make it. But it's no, the desert's going to be definitely an interesting one, probably hazardous, but yeah, not a huge amount to say about that one. It's just standard desert for now. And yeah, then we got the forest biome, and this is going to be a pretty good one because it'll have an awful lot of stuff in there, lots of different trees and flowers and things. I've noticed here you can see that the rocks are a bit blurry. I had this problem before on another biome which I actually fixed. I literally just need to re-import the model from Blender. There's something just went wrong and got corrupted or something, so you literally just need to delete it out of Unity and import it again. I have no idea what caused that, but just ignore that for now. That will be fixed, we promise. But the forest will be good because there'll be lots of animals, lots of activity. You're probably going to want to set up your base or your town fairly close to a forest because I suspect it's going to be a good source of food. And I mean, you can't have a fancy game without a good forest, so we've got quite a lot to go in those. It should be an interesting biome for sure. Okay, then we got the swamp biome, and this is going to be probably quite waterlogged. We're going to have sort of lots of pools, very tall reeds, sort of probably shorter trees. There's no water in this one because it's just the flat plain. But in the actual game engine itself, when it's all built in, we'll have lots of water sources in the swamp. Probably, I suspect, I don't know what we're doing with fishing. I like fishing, so I'm hoping we're going to have some fishing. but I don't know for sure. But if we do have that in at some point, I suspect that's where you're going to want to go to do it. Probably going to be some dangers in the swamp, but for the most part it'll be probably a place you can get food, but maybe have to be a little bit careful. Okay, then we've got the tiger biome, and this is basically going to be a very, it's not quite barren, but it's not very many plants, probably not huge amounts of animals. Going to have like things like pine trees, spruce trees, and it's going to be dotted with snow. I haven't put any snow on this display here, but it'll be grasslands and patches of snow. Kind of as you're moving from sort of warmer, more temperate areas up towards the mountain biomes, you'll start passing through this biome here, as it's kind of like a transitional biome between the other biomes we have. So don't know a huge amount about what we're putting in that one yet, but it's in terms of like animals and creatures, but it's going to be fairly sparse. Okay, next up we've got the sort of tropical biome, and this is just lots of palm trees, banana trees, melons, that sort of stuff, all the tropical stuff. I'm not sure exactly what sort of creatures we're going to be putting in this one, but I think we're going to be placing this biome closer towards the ocean, around the outer edges of the map, I think. I'm not sure if we'll have clusters of it dotted around, sort of like closer towards the centre of the map as well. But I suspect that this one will be nearer to the oceans. So, I don't think we've actually got crabs, but we should totally make crabs. I'm going to totally make crabs that I'm going to put in this tropical biome. So that's one thing we will have. We will have crabs. And, in fact, I will go do that later. That sounds like fun. Okay, last one that we've got to show here is the savannah. And, to be fair, this is just going to be what you expect from a standard savannah. We've actually got these trees in here called Biomes trees, and they're the really tall, weird-looking ones with the leaves all the way at the top. And believe it or not, they are actually real trees. You can go look up pictures of them. They look really weird. Oh, made a mistake actually. The melons are in this biome, actually, not in the tropical biome. But this one will have probably a fair amount of creatures in it. And again, probably a decent source of food, although it will be more dangerous, I would have thought, than the forests. I'm actually making a lot of this up, actually. I actually have no idea. I haven't actually read any of the stuff that is where we've decided where we're putting creatures and things. In fact, I don't even know if we actually even have a list of that yet. I need to check if we've got a list of that. These are just kind of like my personal thoughts of where things are going to go, and I might be completely wrong. Okay, and these are just the textures that I've got set up here so you guys can have a look at them. It's mostly just building materials that I've been working on. Drake Wolf has been doing all of the terrain textures. So what I've got here is just decorative and building materials. This is pretty much all of them. I think I've got one or two in some separate folders that I need to dig out, but these are all the ones on my main folder, and that's most of them here for you. So yeah, hopefully that's been an interesting video. You got a bit more behind the scenes, and yeah, thanks for watching.